La di da di da, slurp on me now. Okay, never. La di da, slurp on me. La di da, slurp on me now. Da di da, where bum me slurp. Okay, no. Falling in my crawl. These crawl, they will not crawl. Crawl is how I crawl. The God is crawl. Crawl. This is crawling surface. Crawling. Crawling. Oh. Okay. One second, I'm gonna... So I gotta play my music. Okay. I have to start the actual troll post. Hi, XX Can't 99 XX here again to bring you my next creepypasta. Now, I did say in the comments that I was going to do one about Booby's Poopy, but I could not get the starting right, and it just didn't work out. I wasn't really a fan of Arthur, but after the incident, I hate Arthur. Yeah, he did, pretty much. Okay, back to it. I wasn't really a fan of Arthur, but after the incident, I hate Arthur now. I rushed this a bit due to my schedule, but hopefully you won't hate too much. So I bring you Arthur's suicide. So without further ado, let the pasta begin. The story. I was with my brother and I was bored. So he made me watch Arthur and I said, do I have to? He said, you must! And it was boring. And... oh wait, 1 second. There's just a really cool picture here that I'm just gonna put on the screen. Aw, dang it! I can't add a WebP? Oh, that sucks. I have to convert to a PNG. Okay, here we go. It has this really cool picture. He said, you must. It was boring, and when the theme song came out, it was normal. but I saw this image flash quickly, and I could barely make out what it was. Because we used to love Arthur as kids. The good thing is, it is still on TV. But Thomas the Tank Engine, but we never got to see the new episodes. Because we got to new things like Dora the Explorer, SpongeBob, and Thomas the Tank Engine. I asked my brother if he saw it, and he said, "No, are you having hallucinations?" And I said, "No, this is serious. This is serious." I continued to watch it, and the title screen was grayscale, and the title said, "Arthur's Suicide." The episode. It was a sunny day. Arthur and Francine were practicing for a baseball tournament. Then Muffy was hanging out with Bink. After that, the episode Skyped to the next day. It wasn't very pleasant because Binky was murdering people with a knife. It wasn't very pleasant. That's it. Muffy was dead. Sue Ellen was dead, and 8 more were killed. My brother left the room crying. The students entered the class, and this is one of the most horrible parts. There was a very loud scream, and I was really scared when that happened. Everyone was shocked to find a dead child. He was naked, and his guts were ripped out of. Well, he's an aardvark. And his guts were ripped out, and he even had his eyes stolen. Stolen? I really have to try not to laugh too hard, because, like, right now, I walked 4 or 5 miles or something a few days ago, and, like, I'm not used to walking that far, so it hurt my body really bad. So when I laugh too much, it hurts, which is sad. Anyway, back to the troll pasta. Then the police came to investigate the scene of the murder. After that, the episode skipped to Arthur playing in his basketball tournament. The scene was weird as everyone had bleeding eyes. Arthur. Once again, I'm gonna see if I can noise suppression. Blah blah blah. Yay for noise suppression. Does it sound better? Tell me. Anyway. The scene was weird as everyone had bleeding eyes. Arthur was battling while the bowler threw the ball straight at him. Bowler? He got 3 strikes and he got striked out. It skipped to the end of the match where he tried to catch the ball. The batter scored a home run and the score was 18-0. The Elwood City team blamed everything on Arthur. When Arthur got home, the scene was a flashback of all that had happened. Then he heard voice saying, "Do it, Arthur, it was all your fault, kill yourself." One sentence. The final frame was Arthur lying on his bed dead, with blood dripping out of his heart. Then I turned off the TV. I turned the TV back on, and there was a message saying, "Why'd you turn it back on?" There is a message saying, "This is your future, ... After that, I got really scared and contacted PBS Kids to warn them about the episode. They said, "How could this be possible? I don't know who made this episode, but it definitely wasn't us." A few weeks later, they replied, "We still haven't found the maker of this episode, but we're sure it's the same maker as Squidward's Suicide." At that time, I checked on my brother. He was still crying. A few weeks later, he was still crying. And he said, I never want to watch Arthur again. So I said, same as me, but it shouldn't happen again. Well, this is the end of my story, and I have nothing else to say. And since up to 2014, I never watched all the episodes of Arthur again. So, the next time you come across this episode, don't watch it. Watch other things. It's for your own good. That end. Okay. Let's see some other ones. Lost episodes. Let's see what else. Sponge. No. Let's see. That would be a good one. Jimmy Neutron Happy Family Hour lost episode. My cousin worked as an intern for Nickelodeon in 2005. He gave me a DVD of Jimmy Neutron. I got home and later I put the DVD into my Xbox. I played this episode and the title card was Jimmy Neutron Happy Family Hour. I thought this was a new unaired special hour episode. I was wrong. It played, and in the beginning was the most disturbing part. It showed the house of Jimmy Neutron. It went in as just music, then no sound. I showed Hugh with a gun. I showed Hugh with a gun and killed the mom. The audio was back. He said, Jimmy, your mom is dead. Do and order of pizza for dinner. Jimmy said, okay, Daddy. I was very creeped out. Then there was no audio again. Jimmy was on the phone and talking. I was guessing it was for the pizza. The Hugh comes up to Jimmy and says, now it's time for father-son bonding. Then the screen had a red screen effect, and Hugh said, bond with me, Jimmy, in a deep voice. Then they were on the sofa watching TV. I was weird was Hugh had a gun pointing at Jimmy. I got sick. The doorbell rang and the pizza went berserk. Jimmy said, the pizza is aggressive. The pizza chopped off Hugh's head. Then Jimmy said, just another day in the life of Jimmy Neutron. The episode ended. I took out the DVD and smashed it to little bits. I had a few nightmares and could no go to sleep. A person made what was on the DVD animated, but he dreamed a few things for it. Okay. Okay, sure. Bob the Builder lost episode. I am an average 23-year-old living in Portland, Oregon in a small house. I was bored as crap. I have nothing to do in my house and barely own anything. Well, that's because I sold mostly everything. I had a yard sale because I make terrible profit of my job. And I always wanted to go to a good college, so I promised myself I would never pay more than $10 for another 3 weeks. So I drived and looked for some cheap crap. Most of they were way beyond of what I had in stock. I mean, I skipped a line. And looked for some cheap crap. Most of would never pay more than $10 for another 3 weeks. So I drived and looked for some cheap crap. Most of the yard sales had some pretty good CDs, like Lost, Walking Dead, and Breaking Bad with whole seasons. But They were way beyond of what I had in stock. I looked through almost every part of my city and couldn't find any entertainment I buy. I was about 2 miles from home. Oh, I lost my place. And I saw a person standing up at a table, and I parked my car and saw what he... the house he was selling at looked like a large wood cabin. Then I noticed that he was actually selling a small TV and a disc for only $3. Only $3. I was stunned when I saw that. Who would sell a TV for $3? I thought. And then I took a closer image of the items, and they were the same things I sold in my yard sale a long time ago. I was curious and bought the TV and the disc and the tall man. That looked he was in his 60s gave me a smile. So you bought the tall man? Not a thankful smile. A smile that said, I'm glad it happened. I gave him the money, took my items to my house, plugged in the TV. The TV had the same quality as before I sold it, and the disc I didn't recognize. But I looked, and it looked like a regular disc that you're supposed to make something with. I sold those too. Then I turned it over and it said Bob the Builder written in black Sharpie. I put it in the Happy Jolly theme played instantly. Nothing wrong at all, just a regular theme song. After that, the title card said working together. Okay, what? Stop saying message retracted. Let me just it sounded like an episode ad that would have already been made, but what do I know? It started with Bob riding a tractor, but it wasn't the Happy Bob the Builder most of us know. It was just Bob the Builder with a blank expression on his face, running over dead flowers or something else I don't know. He rode the tractor for 5 minutes. My brain just exploded. Sorry. Okay. Then the tractor broke down and Bob looked very angry. His teeth were grinding. He just looked very pissed off. And his eyes turned red. Then he walked out of the tractor, picked up a dagger and stabbed it at least 500 times. The tractor actually started bleeding. He charged for the others' cars and did the same thing, only more times. He saw children walk by to say hi to Bob and blew them up. Blew them up! That's actually part of the story. It's just screaming, blew them up. And hanged them by the eye on a cross and ate their organs one by one. The screen went black for 5 seconds. It went into a house, and Bob stared at the screen with red eyes smiling. Then he said in a very dark voice, "You're next." Then it went black and did nothing illies. I took the disc and took it to my garage and broke it into a million pieces with a sledgehammer. I had nightmares ever since. Till one day I was cutting meat for my dinner, and there was a Bob the Builder doll with a knife in his hand, and I freaked out and slut is throughout with the knife I was cutting with. And nothing ever happened since. Then the next week I was stabbed in the heart. I guess I'll try to play that. CF6X8Y. Oh. And that's the end of the troll pasta. Let's look at some more lost episodes. SpongeBob bootleg episode. This image was taken from a split-second frame in a corrupted bootleg of the SpongeBob episode dumped. Other than the image, the rest of the video, composed of incomprehensible jumbles of colors, static. Oh God, that's actually creepy. By the way, there's an image right next to it that says it's freeze frame, but it blinks, and it's like a GIF. I really do not want to look at that. That's actually scary. I'm just gonna inspect element and delete it because I actually am scared by looking at that. Okay, I deleted it. Other than the image, the rest of the video is composed of incomprehensible jumbles of colors, static, or just black screens. The audio seems to be a heavily distorted version of the audio from the original episode, with loud, droning buzzes occasionally interrupting it. The bootleg tape itself was found in December 2004, the year I was born, by a group of 5 teenagers from the city committed suicide. By a group of 5 teenagers from the city rummaging around in a trash can within an abandoned mental institution. One of these 5 individuals, 2 have committed suicide, 1 has gone missing. 1 refuses to comment on the tape, and the last hastily agreed to give paranormal investigators the tape shortly after being interviewed about the suicide and disappearances of the other 3 persons. The current whereabouts of the tape are unknown, and many who stare at these images for a long enough period of time claim to see SpongeBob blink. I know, that's because it's a GIF! You stupid idiot! Okay. Minus A M minus AM 4 TB 19 TPW. Oh, someone's calling. Okay. Got interrupted, sorry. Next, let's do, what? That picture is different. Okay. I'm actually scared because, like, you know that, like, GIF, it shows up on the main page that has that, that has that page on the Troll Pasta Wiki. The image is only the eyes now. That's actually kind of scary. Okay. SpongeBob versus Evil Patrick's. You may have heard of Evil Patrick's. He is basically a god with full power. This all began when I was searching in my attic. Since I haven't been in there for a long time, I shoved out a bunch of boxes and found a box full of old VHSs. I went through that box to find a VHS with SpongeBob Final Battle written on it. I've never heard of a SpongeBob episode like this, so I just jumped into my living room to insert this into my old VHS player to sit down and enjoy a lost SpongeBob episode. SpongeBob. I have to. Oh, real quick, I haven't paid this. This is the picture. The episode began with the title card on an orange background. SpongeBob's Final Battle was the name of the episode. I was confused, but since this was a lost episode, I got excited. It was written by me and produced by Steven Hillenberg. The bubble transition happened as the house cut to SpongeBob feeding his pet snail, Gary. Suddenly, there was a big bang heard from Squidward's house, which took the entire neighborhood. SpongeBob dropped the bag of snail food he was pouring into Gary's bowl and rushed outside the door from his pineapple house. He saw smoke coming out of Squidward's house. He broke down his door and gasped. Squidward was laying on the floor next to a burning oven. Squidward was dead, lying on his floor. Written in black Sharpie, "Your time has come to its expiration date" on the wall. SpongeBob ran out of Squidward's house in a panic while the scene ended. The bubble transition occurred when the next scene showed SpongeBob happily walking to work as if he forgot all about what happened with Squidward. When he saw the Krusty Krab, it was all ruined and broken. SpongeBob walked in and yelled, "I'm ready, Mr. Krabs." But then his happy mood changed when he didn't hear Mr. Krabs. He walked into the manager room, which was a big mistake, even for me, because I regret watching this now. SpongeBob found Mr. Krabs hanging from the wall with his guts hanging out from a cracked part of his shell. SpongeBob ran out of the Krusty Krab wall crying. Then the scene ended. There was no bubble transition this time. It just cut to a white background. It moved to SpongeBob, who looked like he couldn't take no more. Suddenly, Evil Patrick's came out of nowhere and told SpongeBob that it was his time to die. SpongeBob said, right back at you. Right back at you. And then the epic battle erupted. They both shot lasers at each other, which caused an explosion. As you can see, it seemed that the battle was over, so SpongeBob left. But suddenly, Evil Patrick's turned into his alter ego, Sir Patrick's, and he used Gorefest on SpongeBob, turning him into a pile of moldy sponge and bones. That's gross. Then the soapidode ended. Well, I assume it did, and since it faded to black. I ejected the tape from my VHS player quickly. Then I smashed it by throwing it onto my wooden floor, and then demolishing it with my mallet. But then Evil Patrick's spirit came out of the broken VHS and killed me! Sad. Is anyone still here? One second, let me check. Hopefully it doesn't crash everything. I hope it doesn't, because I will die. Okay, it didn't crash, but it did crash Chrome. Let's hope the live dashboard doesn't kill my computer real quick. Let's see how many people are watching. Oh, you are watching, okay. Lib my sofa. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream now. Bye.